What's up, you guys? Today we are back with another video, and this one is about thrifting tips. As someone who has been thrifting for quite a few years now, but more often recently, I definitely have a few tips that I want to share with you guys because there are right and wrong ways to be thrifting. Now, they're not necessarily right and wrong, but there's just better ways to be doing it. And going into it, it kind of just seems like a whole bunch of, confusion, and there's just so much stuff, but hopefully this will help you and give you a little bit of a guide, okay? So for everyone that doesn't know, I do live in Houston, Texas, and this is kind of catered more to places that have, this specific tip actually is catered to places that have a lot of options for thrift stores, okay? What you're looking for in a thrift store, honestly, I would say really just depends on what it is specifically that you're trying to get out of it, okay? If you're looking for specific curated vintage, yes, you can go thrifting, but you're not really looking for a thrift store if that's what you want to be guaranteed to find. That is going to be more of a vintage store, and those are going to be higher markup prices. So you really just need to look on those, maybe more like Instagram pages, because those kinds of people and sellers are going to have Instagram pages, and then they're going to tell you where they are located in store. Now, if you're actually going thrifting and you want to search through them racks and you either just want to get lucky or you actually want to find just old clothes, not necessarily vintage every time, because there is a difference. Old clothes are not vintage clothes. But that's a whole another can of worms that we're not going to talk about. Then my best advice, honestly, is to, first of all, do your research. People don't realize that there are so many research tools out there. Go on TikTok, search up thrift stores in my city, and see what other people are recommending. 2, go see them for yourselves. Pick out a day to go and visit maybe 3, 4 different thrift stores, look through the racks, look through the things that they have, and kind of get a feel for what they specifically have to offer. I know me specifically, I have certain thrift stores that I'm going to go to for certain things, okay? I'm not gonna go to X thrift store trying to look for graphic tees when I know that this one is the one that I always find graphic tees at. But, oops. Okay, my bad, y'all. I had to feed my cat. Okay, he was getting a little rowdy. Okay, so basically what I was saying is I'm not going to go to a certain thrift store knowing that this one is good for graphic tees and this one is good for shoes and this one is good for bags and this one is good for pants. So you really need to do your research, do your digging, go and find which stores that you like, learn the pay structure, okay? There are certain ones that go by weight. There are certain ones that I've heard the amount per item changes per day. I don't know of anyone that are actually like that, because the ones in my city that are supposed to be like that are not actually like that. So I don't actually know what places specifically do that, but I've heard of that. There are places that just have it written down on the tag. There are places that have the regular, like stamped printed tags, whatever. It really just depends. So you need to learn your stores, and you need to learn what it is that you're looking for and where to go for those specific items. And honestly, let's say you go that day and it's just terrible. You want to go back maybe once, twice more. I'd say if you try a place 3 times and there really is nothing good there, then just exit out altogether. Don't even go back. Maybe go there once in a blue moon or something. But you want to go back 2 or 3 times, maybe, just to really give that store a chance, because maybe you went on a day where they're restocking the next day, so like everything has been picked through and you really have limited options. Okay, I've been going on about this for a while, but let's get on to the next tip. The point is do your research, try out the stores, figure out what stores have certain strong suits, and then just remember that when you're looking to go back. Okay, so another small tip, I guess, going into that though really quickly, is finding a good store is, let me give you guys an example. I have this certain store that I think is in a more, like, people over there, I guess maybe are more blue collar, because there were so many Levi jeans. There were so many jeans. You can tell, like, there were jeans. People wore them. They needed the heavy duty, thick jeans, okay? And a lot of them were men's. So you can tell there's a lot of most likely there's a lot of workers in this area, so I could probably count on this specific store for good heavy duty jeans. Then in another area that I wouldn't say it's white collar, I wouldn't say it's nicer, but it's just a different maybe demographic. Maybe more people shop over there. That one has really good shoes. So, and that's also the one that I found my Prada shoes at. So it kind of just depends. You want to pay attention to the areas that you're looking in, because that can also kind of predict what is going to be in that thrift store. Most people who are donating are the people that are in the neighborhood. I will also say though, that doesn't mean that just because it's a rich neighborhood means it's going to have good things. Okay. But you can kind of pay attention to those little, what would you say? Signs, I guess. I don't know. That's not the word I'm looking for, but patterns. Look for those patterns and kind of keep them in mind. Okay, so the second one is, what is actually a good deal? I think we all know that thrift store prices have been going up lately. Personally, I think anything under $8 is a deal for something. Now, if it's jeans, anything $20 and under, if it's a good pair of jeans. So I found True Religion jeans that were, oh my gosh, it's raining again. You guys, it's been raining on and off literally all week. But I found True Religion jeans for, I believe, $25. Okay, not that bad. I have found True Religion jeans and Miss Me's for $20. I have found Express jeans for $20. That sort of thing. I found Levi's for $15. I found Levi's for $12. I found Levi's for $8. It all just kind of depends, but my rule of thumb is generally $20 and under is good for a good pair of jeans. Tops, shirts, man, if it's a graphic tee and if it's not one of those super good brands, and honestly, hopefully your thrift store doesn't catch on to the good vintage brands, but if it's a t-shirt, girl, anywhere from $1 to $5. $6 is kind of pushing it. $6 for this t-shirt, like you mean it, like for real, and it's old, no. Like, no. So rule of thumb, t-shirts, I would say under $8. Jeans and pants, $20 and under. That's my rule of thumb. Purses, I couldn't personally say I don't really thrift purses. I just haven't really had luck with any of the ones that I go to. I don't really find anything that I like. So I couldn't say for that. I would maybe say the rule of thumb the same, maybe under 30. Even then, because once you hit that 30 price mark, you're kind of going into like Marshalls and TJ Maxx categories. So maybe under 20 for that as well. I couldn't exactly say. But a big rule of thumb, I will say, is, and I'll let you in on this, for resellers, we want our products to be like $3. Like we want everything to average out to be about $3 a piece. So I don't know if that gives you a little bit of insight, but that should help. $3 is a steal for a piece. Okay, when to go? Now, yes, people have jobs. People can't go during the day, but obviously the best time to go is in the morning on like a Monday or a Tuesday when it's super dead and most people are at work. If you can't go then, honestly, if you can't go then honestly it's a free-for-all. Then it doesn't matter. Anywhere during working hours from 8 to 5 is going to be your best time to go because that's when everyone is at work. But if you have to be at work, maybe try going on your lunch break or just trying to pick maybe right when they open on a Saturday or a Sunday, or maybe right before they close. Sometimes right before they close, it can get a little bit busy, but just keep that in mind, okay? Another thing is to go in with some sort of goal, okay? You don't want to go in and then be like, oh, I just bought all these things, and you don't really mess with them. You know, I don't know if we've all fallen a victim to that, but I definitely have. So go in with some sort of goal, you know, or maybe some sort of budget. That would be a good way to put it. Go in with some sort of budget, and you'll be surprised how much you can really get for your money, of course, because it is a thrift store. So just go in with the budget and get the most bang for your buck. Okay, This next one is what really helps me is while you're shopping, continue to evaluate the pieces that you have in your cart or in your hand, okay? Because you're looking through your racks and you're like, oh, this is good. Okay, you're gonna take it off, put it in your cart, whatever, and you're gonna keep going. You're like, oh, this is good too. And oh, this is nice too. Okay, then you're gonna hold on. Okay, I have to finish this up because my battery is gonna die. But you're picking through your items. Okay, let's say you get to like 5 items. Look at them again and make sure they're still ones that you like, because as you're going through, you might be like, oh, this is better. Oh, this is even better. I don't actually fuck with this, so I put it back. It just makes sure that you maximize your time and what you're actually getting. Like, you shouldn't just be getting it just because it's cheap. It should still be something that you really want. It helps you eliminate and make sure you're staying under that budget and you're getting the ones that you're like, oh, I cannot leave without this. Okay, that's the way you want to think about it. And last but not least, talk to the workers if you can. I know some workers are kind of, I don't know, it's their job. Sometimes people don't want to be talked to, but if you can make conversation with them, maybe not the first time, maybe the second time, or maybe I've walked into a store and they're like, oh, just so you know, everything is, 25% off today. And you're like, oh, okay, great. It kind of opens up that friendliness, and then you go up to the counter and you're checking out like, oh, blah, 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 make some conversation, how long have y'all been open? That's what you can ask them. Have you seen any really good things come through here? Oh, what is your pricing structure like? Is it the same every day? Do you guys ever run any other specials? So if you can, just try to talk to them. You don't have to get to know their name, but I mean, it would be nice to say, oh, hey, what was your name? Oh, nice to meet you. I'm blah, blah, blah. And whether or not you remember, I mean, you should probably remember the name, but whether or not you actually remember and they remember you, doesn't really matter. It's just more about now you're opening up that channel of communication, and if you want to know when the people are restocking or they're getting good shipments, or if you want to just get a little bit of the insight, you need to build a relationship with them. I went into a store for a third time, and honestly the guy just seemed cool. I had talked to one of the other ladies that worked there and whatnot, and he was like, oh, like you should come back tomorrow because we're restocking everything. Okay, I went back tomorrow and I found a bunch of cool stuff. So, you just want to open up that communication. Sometimes the bigger stores are a little bit different, like maybe like a Goodwill or something, but just try and be friendly. Just try and be friendly. Okay, and actually this is my final one. Do your research while you're thrifting, if that's what you're looking for. Like, if you're someone that really wants to get some cool like vintage brands or some old style stuff, or maybe you're looking for a certain look, like look at what you're looking for and then look up what those brands are and do your research while you're there. Like, oh, what is this brand? Oh, what is this? Oh, what is that? I think it's kind of cool to know what you're buying, especially when it's from a different era. Like, there is nothing wrong with more information. So if you're thrifting and you're like, well, blah, okay, look at this brand. Maybe it'll show you more things from that brand. And maybe that can put you onto other styles or other pieces from the collection that you might want to look into. So those are my thrifting tips, okay? They are all very important, and hopefully you can implement those when you go thrifting the next time. Just always give the stores a shot. Try and maximize your time while you're there, and be interested in what you're looking for. Your style is about your identity. It's not about looking like everybody else. Maybe you want to look a certain way, that's cool, but thrifting should give you your own identity, especially thrifting, okay? Especially thrifting. Okay, sorry, one final thing. It takes time. Thrifting is not like going shopping in the store, like looking inside, oh, I don't see anything and I'm leaving. It takes time. So go when you have some time, especially if you're going to some bins. You're going to be digging in that thing. Bring some gloves. Like, you're going to be digging in there. Okay? Okay. Peace out, love. I'll see y'all next time. Let me know how you like the thrifting tips and tell me if you use any of them and how they help you. Or if you have any thrifting tips that I did not mention, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. Okay. Love you guys. I will see you guys in the next one.